Hi there, viewers and gamers alike out there, and welcome back for more of Marvel Spider-Man's Universal Lore and more of Arkham Twin Days. So this is a topic that you do not see it coming now, huh? Did ya? So I'm going to talk about Power Rangers on this. Of the 10 strongest Power Rangers in the franchise that are ranked. So, yeah! Why do you're asking, why are you going with Power Rangers? Well, ever since I've watched Power Rangers back in the 90s, since I was very young, I enjoyed it so much, and I love the cast, and even though some of the different people who've been new cast members, and the only one who is the Blue Ranger, which goes by the name of David Yost, who is the only member who not to be recast. So, yeah. But I am going to talk about the 10 strongest Power Rangers in franchise that is ranked. And also, this is Arkham, because I know Power Rangers has its own Arkhamverse. Any TV show series, including the movies, have their own Arkhamverse, if you want to know. Besides Super Sentai of Japan. So, let's talk about the 10 strongest Power Rangers in the franchise rank, shall we? There have been dozens of different Power Rangers in the television series over the years. But which of them, or should I say, is the most powerful? Which one? Woo! 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 Yes, I can sound like that from the New Day, but I'm not the New Day. The New Day, you know, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, which I do love the way they dress up in those suits as Power Rangers, because I love it! The green and white Ranger suits! Woohoo! It's a new day! Yes, it is! The Power Rangers have been saving the planet since the early 90s. Over that time, the teams have faced everything from intergalactic spellcasters to machine empires to space pirates. The Earth comes under attack somewhat annually, apparently, and yet they manage to survive each time. Nonetheless, the Rangers rise to the occasion with the help of teamwork. Also, there are crossovers as well, from other shows and making into that one show, and then that TV show ends, and then the next one, and then the previous TV show comes from you get the idea. Yeah, so with the help of teamwork and some giant robots, which are called Megazords. So it is awesome sauce! Of course, over the years, there have been some Rangers to rise above the level of the average team member, either because they were granted additional abilities over their teammates, or they've been granted multiple powers over their years of service, such as Tommy Oliver, aka Jason David Frank. Powers that have only grown since the introduction of the Boom comics. Boom Studios Power Ranger comic, or you like to say that, or should I say so for myself, or whichever works in your favor. By what comic book do you read of the Boom comics? So, here we go. Number 10. Zelia is a member of the Eltar race and has established herself to be more experienced and powerful than the Mighty Morphin team. Like, what? A member of the Eltar, Zelia comes to Earth in the new Boom Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comics and immediately makes herself useful. With the Rangers still training a new group while also dealing with one of the most powerful Ranger enemies of all time, they needed all the help they could get. Fortunately, Zelia, her name is spelled capital Z-E-L-Y-A. I'll repeat it once again. Capital Z-E-L-Y-A. Zelia is the new Bronze Guardian and happens to be more than capable of plugging in the weaknesses the group has. So, there you have it. Number 9, Bronze Guardian was Zordon in his transformed form. Then he fought Rita for several centuries. Rita Repulsa. That's right. It's not surprising at all that Zordon appears on this list. The person who gave them their powers should be one of the most powerful Power Rangers as well. Several millennia ago, Zordon was the Bronze Guardian. One of the handful of warriors charged with protecting their planet. Zordon fought against Rita and her forces as well as Lord Zed for centuries, standing with people on multiple different planets with his powers, always surviving no matter what Rita and her people threw at him, like even with the kitchen sink. Number 8. Magna Defender had such hatred for Scorpius, his spirit survived in a cavern for years. And no, it's not Mike, but before it was Mike when he became the Magna Defender. If you want to know, for those who watch Power Rangers in the Lost Galaxy, which is a great show, great TV show series, by the way. And it does have its own Arkham storyline. The Magna Defender is a warrior who fought against the army of Scorpius to bring peace to his realm. He protected the lights of Orion. He protected the lights of Orion powers while fighting back on multiple worlds until he lost his son, which I remember so well watching that TV show when he lost his son and he couldn't, he is not the hero that he once used to be, because, without his son, he's kind of dead inside, and he doesn't even care, but he kind of does it in a brutal type of way. When that happened, the Magna Defender lost it and started seeking revenge, eventually being trapped for years in a pit after the battle against his nemesis, Tretron. That, I remember when he got trapped in a cavern, definitely. Magna Defender's rage was so great, he remained alive for years, escaping once he found a body he could use, and that is Mike! That is Mike, if you want to remember, from Power Rangers and the Lost Galaxy. He could use and going right back on his path of revenge. His power was great enough to destroy his enemy once and for all as well, but remember, Mike was there because he had Magna Defender. I mean, both sharing one and the same body. Because Mike knows that the Magna Defender's heart and sorrow and painful loss of his son. And this is what leads to something even more interesting. He went from this ruthless type of ranger, type of guy called himself the Magna Defender, to passing on the mantle of Mike, who becomes the new Magna Defender to carry on the Magna Defender's name, along with his powers. Number 8. Or should I say, yeah, that was number 8. Number 7. Trent Mercer had the power of super speed and invisibility, in addition to being a powerful ranger. The White Dino Ranger knocked up the other Dino Rangers across the city while he was evil! Disgrace! Which I've seen Dino Thunder, and that TV show series is well done. The Power Rangers Dino Thunder is well done. Absolutely well done for 38 episodes. Processing access to the Dragomorpher, Trent wielded both the Dragozord and the Stegazord, which could combine and give him access to his own Megazord without the help of any of the other Rangers. So he became evil, but when this strange laser hit the Morpher, the crystal, the evil energy that was in that crystal is no longer there, but the power is still active. So the altered version of the evil ranger is gone forever. It like vanished, never existed, and now he's the good type of guy, good guy ranger for all of this time, and finally returning to his senses. It is that simple. In addition, he had access to super speed and camouflage, which belonged to both the Red and Black Rangers separately in this universe that he was in, Trent and Mercer. Even though he felt less powerful after becoming a good guy, he was still one of their most dangerous allies. I mean, when he was a good guy, of course, it was a clone of the White Dino Ranger, but only one has to remain the original. One of them has to go, and it was not Trent Mercer. It was the evil clone of the White Dino Ranger himself. Number 6. Andros patrolled the galaxy for threats with no help for years. The Red Space Ranger. That's right, Andros! Chosen by Zordon, Andros was the Red Space Ranger and spent several years exploring the galaxy alongside his partner Zane. Unlike every other Power Ranger team, Andros and Zane didn't get any additional help for years, and they protected more than just a city. Even after Zane fell, Andros would continue to operate as the Red Space Ranger for quite some time before eventually deciding to allow others to wield the Astromorphers. Let's rock it! He also eventually uncovered the power of the first Battleizer, making him stronger than the rest of his team, which absolutely works! Number 5. Wes Collins fought in an entire army by himself for hours! Like, what? From Power Rangers Time Force, which is also another one of my favorite TV shows of the Power Rangers era by Saban, if you want to know. Yeah. Wes Collins went from being one of the more useless Red Rangers to one of the most respected over the course of his series. He had access to a standard set of weapons in his Chrono Sabers and V1 cannon. But eventually, he gained additional power in the form of his Battle Fire mode, which is awesome sauce, which I have seen it before. That's right, his awesome Battle Fire mode. This all came in handy at the end of the series, when all of the Time Force members are forced to return to their present, leaving Wesley battling against the armies of Ransik all by himself. And I thought Eric Myers was there. I mean, I don't recall something like that when he battles all of them by himself. I mean, it was like near the end of the series, but on the last 2 episodes of Power Rangers Time Force, he had the help with Eric Myers, who was the original Quantum Ranger, if you want to know, with the help of the Silver Guardians. Though the Time Force Rangers did make a comeback, they did so because they knew Wes died fighting the armies, even though he apparently won since they somehow still had a future, which kind of makes sense over on the continuity. Like, if Wes died, how is he still alive when he fought all by himself without no help? Of course, he had Eric Myers, the original Quantum Ranger, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah. I mean, can you imagine what? Like, I don't get it. Like, are you sure you're making sense? I think so, because what did I just know about this? Like, come on. Can you throw me a bone here? It's continuity. Number 4. Adam has led teams of veteran Rangers into battle and is one of the longest tenured Rangers, which I have met Johnny Young Bosch in real life, got his autograph. It was the second string Black Ranger and the Zeo Green Ranger, which is awesome sauce, and also a former Green Turbo Ranger, if you want to remember. And Adam Park is like one of the most spectacular guys. Not only he does in Japanese anime, who does voice acting, he's also a martial artist. That's right, martial artist. And it was a once in a lifetime that I have met him for reals. And like, yes, bonus points for the guy who got his autograph, which is me. Adam appeared during the second season of Power Rangers to take the place of Zack, and in the live-action series is one of the longest-serving Rangers in the entire franchise. He started out gaining the Black Mighty Morphin powers. That's right. But would eventually attain the Green Zeo powers and finally the Green Turbo powers before quitting. His experience is not to be discounted or discontinued, if you want to. I would say discounted. He did not. I know he kind of retired, but he did not say discontinued. But he's also quite powerful as well. And he was responsible for helping the Operation Overdrive Rangers actually defeat Thrax, the son of Zed. He had the respect of the other replacement Rangers, and they allowed him to lead them into battle. Of course, that too spectacular part of Operation Overdrive, I really like it. It's like if Power Rangers meets Indiana Jones and Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and that was with a combination of Pinocchio, because the original Red Ranger does not know he was an android, and finally he realized he is. So for that is what it feels like. So yeah, it's a great TV show series. Number 3, Ranger Slayer proved her power by not only defeat Draken, but saving her world. And that is from Power Rangers Legacy Wars, and also Battle for the Grid. Kimberly is still the longest remaining female Ranger, but the Boom series has given her something even more impressive than that. In the timeline of the Coinless, where Lord Draken has gone out of control, Kimberly was transformed into the Ranger Slayer after being given the Bow of Darkness to bring her over to Draken's side. She was excellent at her job, but even better at making up for what she had done once she was pulled free of the Bow's influence. She managed to free her planet from Draken and his armies and ran the entire planet, restoring the peace completely. See why everything is Arkham? That's why! Number 2, Jason Scott Lee has fought equally with the Green Ranger and had the powers of the Gold Zeo Ranger to defeat his enemies. Gold Ranger power! Jason had almost as many powers as Tommy Oliver would. That's right, as many powers as Tommy over the years. He started out wielding the Red Ranger powers, but in the Zeo series, he returned and was granted the Gold Ranger powers. As the Gold Ranger, he had access to super speed in the Gold Rush and a carrier Zord in Pyramidus, in the carrier Zord called Pyramidus. In the comics, Jason has also been given the Omega Ranger powers, which allow him to access his powers anywhere in the universe, which is even better. He's led the battle against Lord Draken and won. And using his Omega Ranger abilities, he's battling against a threat that surpasses all the Rangers have faced. Can you believe this? Who gets the better Ranger powers, and what do you expect? And you thought it was Tommy Oliver. Of course, he has the specialized morpher that he can transform into any Rangers that he wanted to be. I mean, from Power Rangers Zeo, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but the green and the white. Power Rangers Dino Thunder, if you want to, or should I call it the Master Morpher. And get this, I've been saving this for last. Number 1 is Tommy Oliver has access to powers from multiple different series and has stood against several evil empires. Now, why him all of a sudden? I mean, I do like both Jason Scott Lee and Jason David Frank. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I am not biased. I'm trying not to be biased. How could there ever been any doubt? Tommy has had so many powers. They gave him a brand new morpher called known as the Master Morpher, which I did set this before. So he could access all of his powers whenever he needed to. Though it's theoretically just a power morpher, they managed to turn all of his powers into power coins, and he can swap between them at will. Completely. With that much power, even though he's never had access to a battleizer, he still can't be stopped, and has even beaten Draken, a version of himself that was strong enough to conquer his own world. And that is how I give you the top 10 of the strongest Rangers in the franchise, even in the Boom comics. So what do you guys think of this juicy info right here of Arkham Twin Days? Or what do you guys think of it? Do you like it or hate it? Mash that like button and or share this video. If you guys love Arkham Twin Days, such as myself, of any multi-universal lore and more, right here in Marvel Spider-Man. And as your friendly neighborhood superhero who goes by the name of Spider Cop, who take chances, making mistakes and getting messy, who likes peanut butter and chocolate, and or breakfast or dinner, because when the going gets tough, it gets harder from here on out, because with great power comes great responsibility as a Power Ranger and a superhero at the same time. So, Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice, and I'll see you guys next time for more of Arkham Twin Days. And also, may the power protect you. It feels something responsibility, or take that responsibility from whichever works in your favor, doesn't it?